because what Alexis was just speaking about makes me think a lot about how you use human design to do a very similar thing to what she's talking about, and describing and elucidating and shining light on the core essence of who someone actually really is, and contrasting and juxtaposing that with what the conditioning that is cultural or historical that is not them, that often gets caked into and masked over the actual true person. That's been my experience of what you've helped me with since I met you. And you just, off the top of your head, just saying things about human design, and I'm like, do you have a camera in my bedroom? How do you know this? So can you just explain what human design is, and then how you use it to help people, and why they might, benefit from working with you?
Absolutely. So human design and the gene keys together are a synthesis of astrology, the I Ching, one of the oldest written texts on the planet, which is actually a genetic map of the DNA with the 64 hexagrams, which relate to the 64 codons in the DNA. And it's also coupled and married with the tree of life from the Zoroastrian traditions. It uses Western and the stellar Arabian astrology of the Egyptian priesthood. And it's also coupled with a chakra system, and then also incorporates the not self doctrine that Buddha taught in the Pali Canon, which is one of the oldest written Buddhist texts. And all these esoteric teachings and wisdoms are then married with actual science, quantum physics, astrophysics. All of this is then in this almost entirely complete system. It's as if all of the broken threads from antiquity were brought back together, and we were just actually given the original code for seeing who we are. I like to think of it as like a 12th dimensional cheat code. It's just like totally bypassing all of the esoteric that we don't understand how it interrelates, but now we actually have this synthesis where we see all these varying systems and threads of wisdom now together in one system. And foundationally, it's kind of like an astrology system, but it's beyond astrology. Something about astrology that I don't find very practical is that the languaging and the hidden wisdom of everything, it's like you have to understand the aspects, the degrees, the houses, the planets, the symbology, and it can be hard to really know how do I apply this to my decision-making process and my life? How do I begin to understand how this works in my day-to-day? And human design does just that by giving us really a map of our own personal hologenetic blueprint. And what I mean by hologenetic is our holographic genetics. We're not just talking about biology. We're talking about consciousness, soul, past life, our subconscious and unconscious aspects, right? We begin to map these layers of self, which gives us a holistic framework and lens for seeing how we navigate through life, the particular energetics of our aura, of our archetype, the mythology we're living out, the aspects of us that are coming from past lives, the aspects of us that are eternal, and then the particular superpowers and Jedi skills that we have that are mapped within our chart. And what's really beautiful about that is we begin to see, as you shared, that we're not only looking at what is true self, we're not only looking at what is essence and what is our very nature, but we then begin to see the juxtaposition, which is everything about us that as a child was pure innocence. And this innocence is driven to define what is not yet defined. It's actually the development of the mind that coerces us and pushes us to try to define what is undefinable. That innocent part of us has no framework for understanding. And this is actually where we develop our conditioning. So within the chart, we actually begin to see where our specific conditioning and our vulnerable, gullible, parts are. And as we begin to slowly peel back the layers that are on the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious foundations of our belief systems and structures, we then peel like the nested dolls, like pull out another nested doll, and then we get back down to the core essence of who we are, right? And so everybody's journey, I think, in their awakening process, when you're awakening your genius, it's already there. Actually, what you're doing is, it's like to awaken, it's like you're under 20 blankets, it's like you're just pulling off all these layers to get out of bed and to awaken that genius that's already there. And that's the deconditioning process. In our journey to awakening, we're not really learning anything new. We're having to unlearn, right? And so with that process of theta healing is so valuable, and especially coupled with human design, because what we're able to do is we're able to get a map. You no longer have to go in the labyrinth, into the darkness to do your shadow work, not knowing where you're going, not having a little bit of light to come with, not understanding, read the braille of your soul, right? So we can do that. Even in the blindness of the darkness, we begin to understand the form, the map of our consciousness. And from that place, we begin to recognize what is not self. What is our program? What is our conditioning? What are the cultural beliefs, the ancestral beliefs, the family beliefs, the things that we've taken on from the people that we've let into these innocent parts of self? And then we reclaim the inner child. We reparent, we heal, and we whole this part of ourselves, right? And then we get to write that permission slip to let go of trying to be something that we are not. And then we pause and we pivot and we merge once again with true self. And so this map, I think it's that bridge between the spirit, right? And healing those energetic layers of self, and then what it means to traverse and carry that into our daily lives, our decision-making with the navigational principles of each aura type and their strategy, and what the inner authority is of each individual, which is like our GPS. And it gives us a way, almost like Chiron bridges the inner planets and the outer planets. It gives us this rainbow bridge. It gives us this ability to be tuned in, tapped in, and downloading our higher self codes, and then knowing how to show up in the world, and how to do business, and how to navigate, and how to embrace our shadows and embody our gifts. And that is where I think all of this merges together, just being able to synthesize that code. And that gives us the tools we know how to really show up as self and to do the work.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, ditto to all of that. It's really helped me improve my working relationship and my knowledge of self, and then know what I'm also not here for, and just not be here for it. So I can get on with what I am, because I've got about how many years to be in this body? Not that many. And the way shit is in the world right now, I don't even know if I'll be here, tomorrow. So really investing the energy that I do have and the time and the space that I can into what I'm actually here for is a priority for me. And then knowing what is not that, and just sidestepping it and totally moving on has been so, as a projector, useful for me to use the energy that I have for what I'm actually meant to do in my Dharma. That's what our new company, the Dharma Creation Institute, is designed to educate people about holistic healing, personal and professional development, so that they can embody the transformation that is required for you to live your purpose, which is what Dharma means. That's what our organization is for. And this Awaken Your Creative Genius program is our pilot ship first effort in creating a course that helps people find that. So these modalities that we're offering, from Reiki to Theta to the Garden of Life, personal development or professional development coaching, and human design, are a blueprint and a map of, like, you follow these things and you look at these things, you're inevitably going to have a closer understanding of your true self, your purpose, your mission, and a strategy for how to make that real, to will manifest that in reality. So that's what we're inviting people to join us to do. I'm super, super excited to be working with all of you. I want to take the course and not just, can I split myself and just be a guest and have somebody else do the manager? Because this is the bomb. So I hope other people are excited. We have currently 7 spaces left, but applications are already coming in and people are already, asking for them. So if you're considering joining us, you can go to the Dharma Creation Institute and fill out the application online, and then we'll get back to you and set up a call to see if you're right for the program. It's a pilot program. This is our first time doing it, and we're working out certain things, and it looks like we're going to be starting August 1st and moving through the end of September, with the course culminating in an August 8th opening ceremony. But that first week of August, we'll be enrolling and getting everything dialed.